Hey guys, so today we're going to make this beautiful necklace. I don't know if you can see how nice it is. Let me see if I turn on the light, if it look better. It looks gorgeous, but I think it's not enough contrast for you to see with my table. I'm gonna try to show it to you like this. So this is one. This I've made in purple colors, like, and silver. And this one I made with black, golden, and red. They look amazing. Now, the materials I've used in this one. This is Preciosa Ornella. I've used this purple. I don't know if you can see that it is purple. Like it's purple. It's shiny purple. And I've used this. This is very, very nice. It's like shiny silver, but it's not like silver. It's like just shiny silver. For the purple, I don't have a code, but for the silver, this is the code. So Preciosa Ornella. For the Rondelle, we have these from BB Craft. I will leave you the link in the description. They're purple brownish, but they look very, very pretty and they're very shiny. So I'm gonna leave the link in the description for this. Now for this black one, the black one I made, I've used one type of seed beads. I've used Preciosa Ornella black. Like, I'm not gonna show you, but you know it's black. Like this is the code. It's just black. And instead of another color of Preciosa Ornella, I've used 2mm Rondelle, and I think it looks just awesome because the Rondelle have a certain shine, a certain spark to it that the seed beads don't. And I wanted to see if it works, and it works. So the golden ones are these. They're from BB Craft. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. I actually want to buy more of these to try to make a project only with this, because they can actually replace. I'm just going to put them like this in my hand. They can replace the seed beads, and they look just awesome. Look how shiny and pretty they are. And these are 2mm Rondelle. They're super cute. As I said, I'm gonna leave the link in the description. And the red ones are these 3mm Rondelle. So the big ones are 3mm. The golden one is 2mm. So look how nice and shiny they look. Also, link in the description. Also, if you want 10% off on your full order on BB Craft, just use the code LauraR20. I'm gonna leave the code in the description. And yeah, so what I'm going to show you today, this is a repeatable pattern. So on this one, I've made 15 repeatable groups. On this one, I made 14. On this one, I went again with one. I'm gonna try to show it to you like this. So on this, I added one more bead in between. On this, I didn't. So this is going to be tighter. This is not. I just try to make it different. So you're going to need either one type of seed bead plus one Rondelle sorry, size 2, and 3mm Rondelle. You can use 4mm, I think, but I don't know if it will. I don't know how it would look. I didn't use it. What I'm going to show in the example, I'm going to be using bigger seed beads. I'm just going to make 2 to show you the beginning, the repeatable pattern, and the ending, because I'm not going to make another one. So I'm going to use bigger beads and like 6 or 8mm on there, something like that, just so it's easier to see. But yeah, so you are going to need 1 or 2 colors of seed beads. You're going to need Rondelle, 3mm, 4mm. If it might work with 4, I used 3. You're going to need a clasp. Now, I've used on this one, the clasp is also from BB Craft. I've used this clasp on the black one. I think it goes very nicely. And I've used like this for the purple one. I think it looks decent enough. Like, it can be, the downside of these is that you cannot, if it's bigger neck, you cannot prolong it. But this, I think this is okay. That drops nicely on the back, and you can make it a bigger size. You will obviously need a needle, And you're going to, in the needle can be 11, it's okay. And you're going to be needing thread. I'm going to be using Toho 1G for this work. If you're going to use any type of clasp, obviously use the clasp and the two loops. And here, if you can use a chain, loop, and lobster, as whatever, however you want to make the clasp. Okay, so prepare your one or your two colors of seed beads. We're just going to go with seed beads, but I really suggest you try out the Rondelle, because just look how shiny they look compared to everything else. Like, it's just wow. So prepare your two color of seed beads, your Rondelle, your clasp, your needle, your thread, and we're going to start the work. Okay, so in the interest of easy understanding, I'm going to be using very different colors so that you understand. We will call this main color. So this can be whatever you use for the main color. Like, for example, here it was the black one. Black one was main color. Secondary color, so the golden Rondelle for me here, and the Rondelle. These are, I think, very big. They're not very big. They are 8 millimeter. Okay, so you have your needle threaded. First off, we need to make the loop in order to add the clasp. So you're going to be picking up 6 main color, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 main color. Pull them down to your thread like this and make a loop. Make a knot, make another knot just to make sure it's sturdy. What I like to do to make sure that it's secured, I go again with my needle through all of them. Like this. And when I reach the tail, I'm just going to make another knot, and then I'm sure that they're secure. So this is the loop where you're going to add the metal loop. Okay, now for the first row, you're going to be picking up like this. So 1 secondary, 2 main, 1 secondary, 2 main, 1 Rondelle, 2 main, 1 secondary, 2 main. So you have like this on your first for the first time. So you have first secondary, 2 main, secondary, 2 main, Rondelle, 2 main, secondary, 2 main, and you're gonna pull these down to your circle like this. Now what you want to do is, without adding any beads, you're just going to go with your needle through the top secondary bead like this. And this is what you're gonna have for the first loop. Now next, this is repeatable, so this will go for all of them from here, which is just repeatable. So pick up like this. I'm just going to put this down. Okay, so pick up 3 main, so 1, 2, 3 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. So you pick up 3 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main, and you're going to go with these. See, this is how your work is now. You're going to go with them through the first secondary here. So the loop is here. You're gonna go with the first in the first secondary here. Like this. Next up, this is gonna be a long one as well, so we need to pay attention. So it's like this: 2 main, 1 secondary, 3 main, 1 Rondelle, 3 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. I'm gonna show you what this row implies. So you have like this: 2 main, 1 secondary, 3 main, the rondelle, 3 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. Now you're going to pull this to your work like this, and you're going to go with your needle through this secondary here, and just pull the thread. It keeps attaching to my carpet, and just pull your work like this. Next up, you want to pick up 2 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. So 2 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. And with this, you're going to go through this secondary here. And you finished the second row. Next up, you're going to be picking 3 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. So 3 main, 1, 2, 3, 1 secondary, and 2 main. And you're gonna pull this down. And you're gonna go through, we're gonna go down through this secondary here. And just pull the thread. Next up, 2 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. You're going to put them down, and with this you're going to go through this secondary here on the way down. Like this. Now you need to pick up 2 main, 1 secondary, 3 main, 1 rondelle, need to put it down, 3 main, and now I'm gonna show you what we have. So it's like this. So you have 2 main, 1 secondary, 3 main, 1 rondelle, and 3 main. Now I'm going to put it here, and without adding anything on my needle, I'm just going to go through this secondary here, like this. And I'm just going to pull the thread. Like this. Next up, you have 2 main, 1 secondary, 2 main. So 2 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. I'm going to pull this down like this, and I'm going to go through, skip this secondary, I'm going to go through this one, because you see this is how they fit. So I'm just going to go with my needle through this secondary here, like this. Next one is going to be the same. Just need to put my beads a little bit lower so I don't have to put my hand every time. So it's 2 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main, as the previous group. Pulling them down. and you're gonna go through the secondary here on top. And just pull the thread. Like this. Next up, you pick up 3 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. So 3 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. You're gonna pull them down. And you're going to go through this secondary down. So you're only going to skip these two the main. And you're just gonna go like this. Next up, 2 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. Pull this down. And as you can see already, we're going to go through this secondary here. Through this one. And just pull the thread. Like this. Now, next up, we need to add the pair for this. And how we're going to do that? Pick up 3 main, 1 rondelle, and 3 main. So you have 3 main, 1 rondelle, and 3 main. Pull it down to your work, like this. And without adding any secondary, this turn, we're just going to go through this secondary here. Like this. And pull the thread. Next up, pick up 2 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. And as you can obviously see, we're going to go through this secondary here. Like this. Next up, pick up 3 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. Pull it down. And we're going to go down through this secondary here, on our way down. And pull the thread. Like this. Now, we need to make this little one as well. So we're going to be picking up 2 main, 1 rondelle, 2 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. I'm going to show you what we put. So, sorry for the loops. So you're going to be going with 2 main, 1 rondelle, 2 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. So this is our next loop. Now we're just going to push it down here like this, and we're going to go up through this secondary here. I'm just going to pull the thread, and we finished one of the designs. Now it is a repeatable one, but I'm going to go a little bit more so you can see how the next one goes. This, now we need to make this is common, like this is common for all, so you can consider this as this, but I'm going to show you again. 3 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. I'm going to pull this down like this, You see, I had the same here, and I'm gonna go through this secondary here. And I'm just going to pull the thread. I don't think this color combination works, but for the purpose intended, it does. Next up, we need to make this one again. So this is why I said it's repeatable. So you just repeat the same pattern. Now we're gonna go with this one again, which is 2 main, 1 secondary, 3 main, 1 rondelle, 3 main, 1 secondary, 2 main, and you're going to pull these down to your work like this without adding anything else. You're just going to go like you added a lot anyway, so you go with 2 main, 1 secondary, 3 main, 3 main, 1 secondary, 2 main. And now you're going to go with your needle through this secondary here and just pull the thread. Don't worry, it's okay, like this is how it has to be with this part. Next up, 2 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. And again, as we did previously, we are going to go through this secondary here. Next up, 3 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. I'm gonna pull this down, and I'm going to go through this secondary here. And just pull the thread. Like this. Next up, 2 main, 1 secondary, 2 main. Put this down and go through this secondary here. So we're always passing through secondary only. Like this. Next up, we need to make the big one. So 2 main, 1 secondary, 3 main, 1 rondelle, 3 main, and pull them like this. So you have like this. Let me just move this a little bit so it's visible. So you have 2 main, 1 secondary, 3 main, 1 rondelle, and 3 main. And you're going to push them down like this, and you're going to go with the needle through this secondary here. And just pull the thread. Like this. Up. Tangled a little bit. Trying not to hold it in my hand. Normally I hold it in my hand. Next up, 2 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. Pull them down, and we're going to go through this secondary here and pull the thread. And again, 2 main, 1 secondary, and 2 main. I'm going to pull it down, and we're going to go through this secondary here. Like this. Next up, 3 main, 1 secondary and 2 main. I'm going to push them down, and we're going to go through this secondary here, like this, and pull the thread. Next up, 2 main, 1 secondary and 2 main. We're going to push it down, and we're going to go through the secondary to this secondary on our way. Like this. Next up, we need to make this one here. So we're going to be picking up 3 main, 1 rondelle and 3 main. So 3 main, 1 rondelle, 3 main. We're going to push them to our work, and we're going to go up through this secondary. Like this. Next up, 2 main, 1 secondary and 2 main. Push them down to your work, and you're gonna go through this secondary up here. And pull the thread. Next up, 3 main, 1 secondary and 2 main. Push it down to your work and go through this secondary here. Next up, 2 main, 1 rondelle, 2 main, 1 secondary and 2 main. So you have 2 main, 1 rondelle, 2 main, 1 secondary and 2 main. We're going to push this down here like this, and we're going to go through this top secondary here. Now, as I said, it's a repeatable pattern, so you should do as many as the length you want. I did, as I said, on this one I did 15, on the other one I did 14, but it also depends on what size of beads you use. Like you might use bigger one than my preciosa ornela, which are like 2.3 millimeters, something like that. So you can do as many as you want, and when you finished the amount of beads you want to put on your necklace, come back and we're going to do the clasp. But I'm not going to do anymore because I don't want to make this as a necklace, so I'm just going to continue. But you do your full length and then come back to see how we do the ending. You see how it looks when I hold it up? It looks like this. Now I'm going to show you. So after you've done your number of how many you need, we need to make another loop here. So from this secondary here, pick up 6 main. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 main. And just go, I'm gonna hold it in my hand now. Just go making a loop through this one, through the secondary here. So you just go once, and the loop is created, and you're just going to have to go 2 or 3 more times just to secure it. I'm just going to go one more time like this, and I'm going to exit the secondary bead, and I'm going to explain to you why. Now you have two options when you finished your necklace. Let's assume that this is my full length necklace. Yeah, you have two options. You can either leave it like this, as I did on my black one. You see, it's this similar, or but not the same. Or you can add one bead on top of these secondaries, like I did on this one. So they're pretty similar. See, this does not have one bead, this has one bead. So you're gonna choose however you want to make it. I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, when you are here, you're exiting this secondary, you're just going to go through these three on top here, pull your thread, the pulley is not as tangled as mine, and you're just going to be adding main color. Yeah, so you have these three, you pick up one main color, and you're gonna go through the next group of three, and that's it. And you pull your thread, pick up one main, go through the next group of three, and just pull your thread, pick up one main, go through the next group of three, and pull your thread, pick up one main, and you do this all the way around till the end of your project. You're going to do this. It gives a little bit more sturdiness, I think. So pick up one main. It's more, not sturdy, like it feels more secure if you add this, but at the same time it will make it feel smaller, because when you pull here they will pull together. So now it might look like corn because I'm using the very weird color, but normally, like if you use nicer colors, I'm not saying yellow is not nice, it's very nice, but here it does look like corn. If you're using like this, it will look like this, but it feels more secure. It feels more secure, but it's gonna get smaller. So if you want to use this, you might want to add one extra. I don't have one yellow out, so I'm just going to one main out, so I'm just going to go with one secondary through this. And now when you reach the end, you want to secure your thread a little bit. So what I generally do is just go through some beads, like go through these, go through the rondelle, this, and if the color matches your main color, which normally it should, you should be able to when you reach here the corner, you should be able to make a knot and not be super visible, you know, like in the loop or somewhere. Like this. And then you can just put it in here. So after you make one or two knots there that's not visible, you can just cut off your yarn, and the tails you burn. So this is very easy to make, and it looks awesome. Like, okay, not these colors were like the combination, I'm not a fan of it, very vibrant, very big. But it works for the intended purposes, that it's easier to understand. But I really think they do look amazing, like the pattern, and it's very important to use the nice beads. Like, I know the pattern it means a lot, but at the same time the beads mean a lot, because I've seen this made in transparent beads and in turquoise beads. It didn't look so wow, or used like pearls, bigger pearls, and I think this, like, on my opinion, it looks pretty. Hopefully you like the tutorial. It's very easy, it's very fast, it's actually very fast to make. and you can make very beautiful. They look like coral. And yeah, if you like my work, please like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you want to support, you can do so for only $1 a month on my Patreon, and I'm going to leave the link, the code for BB Craft, 10% off your full order in the description. So yeah, happy beading.